Hi guys, it's me, I'm home. I'm all moved into my new place, as you can see behind me. Right there, there's still a mess. There's still boxes to be unpacked and stuff. But basically, what I wanted to do was give you guys an update as to what happened at the gathering because it was kind of this big lead up to me leaving and how I heard about it, and there's kind of a story there. So, what I decided to do is make a video about the road trip, which I did. However, I'm really not proficient at anything to do with technology, so I have a bit of a hard time creating an iMovie. However, what I thought I would do would just start with these little clips. What I wanted to do was do 13 videos, one per week for the next 13 weeks. Chose the number 13 to honor the 13 grandmothers that put together this amazing event. And I wanted to do one video per week on one of the lessons that I learned at this gathering. So the first one, I think it was the second or the third day of the gathering, and what they did at this gathering was they recreated um, an event that happened to this Cheyenne Nation. And I'm not a historian. I'm not good at history. I'm not pretending to be. And I apologize profusely if I insult anyone by getting these events wrong or not doing them justice. I remember the emotion behind things instead of the facts. So I'm going to give you the emotion that I felt. So what happened was many, many years ago, the Cheyenne Nation was run off their land by some angry American gentlemen and murdered. They were murdered, their horses were murdered, and they had to flee for their lives. And there was a route that they took to flee and a route that they took to come home and reclaim their land. And they rode horses while they did it. So because part of this event was to help heal the traumas that have been inflicted not only on the Cheyenne Nation, but all of humanity, one of the things that they did was actually recreate this ride home on horses. And they had just some regular folks, some regular amazing people get on wild Mustangs that had been trained and ride from Oklahoma to the Cheyenne land in Lame Deer, Montana. And they showed up there on horseback on the Saturday of the event. And they all stood up to talk about the things that they had experienced on this journey. It's a little emotional, as you can tell. Anyway, they stood up to speak, and somebody stood up and they were speaking and they introduced this little dog. And so into this huge powwow arena comes this little animal, and they said that they had named him Little Horse. And they told the story of Little Horse. And what they told us was that somewhere along their journey, as they were riding, this little dog popped out of the bush, like out of nowhere, and kind of ran along with them. And they said that for a little while he seemed, a little skittish. He was a stray, but he seemed to fit in with them. And they kind of felt it, and apparently so did this little dog because he stuck around and they started feeding him and giving him water, and he stayed with them. And so one of these people has now adopted him, and he has a lovely home. So that's beautiful in and of itself, but for whatever reason, I have this kind of brain that always tries to learn lessons. I don't even know if it's my brain. Maybe I don't know what it is. Something about me always wants to look for something a little bit deeper, a little bit more meaningful. What can I learn from this? What kind of life lesson can I take from this? And so I took the beauty of it, just the fact that this little stray now had a home and people to love him, and went a little deeper with it and realized that this little dog, whose name is Little Horse, could actually teach us something really profound about friendship. And what that was to me was that, we all kind of sometime at some point in our lives feel like a stray. You feel like you don't fit. You feel like you're all alone and you're struggling. Oh, I'm going to cry. The lesson that I took from this was you don't have to stay with the wrong people. You don't have to stay with the wrong group of friends. You don't have to stay with an unhealthy partner. Okay, hold on. You can run along beside them for a little while. You can see if you fit. You can see if it's a healthy match, a healthy group of friends where you feel like you actually belong, that you belong to that group of people instead of them just accepting you and dealing with you. You can date someone and see if you fit with them. Just because you've been with the same people since childhood or since elementary school or since high school or whatever, that doesn't mean that you can't go off and experience a bit of life and see where you fit if you don't feel like you fit there. This little dog popped out of the bush. He had probably met many other packs of dogs or people or whatever and decided that they weren't the ones that he fit with. And so he'd just take off and start running by himself again until he found this one group of people that he actually fit with. And then he decided that he wanted to stay with them. And they accepted him and they love him. And now he has a beautiful little home. And I'm sure he feels not like such a stray anymore. So that was one of the lessons. These videos are going to be coming out at the beginning of the week, maybe Monday, maybe Tuesday, depends what's going on. But they will be one video per week for the next 13 weeks. So please stay tuned. There was some really fun things and some really deep things, and apparently this morning was one of the more deeper ones. So thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you to my new little friend, Little Horse, and I hope you all got something out of that. Have a great week. And don't stop searching. Don't stop searching till you find the pack that you fit with, because they're out there somewhere.